tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to talk about Android permissions. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create a permission request for our application and handle also missing permissions. So so we'll explore the Android permission system. Okay, so many Android features, as you know, are not immediately available for us because these features are gated behind our permission system to protect the user. That means they are blocked. Some features are blocked by Android system by a permission. Okay, so only if you to protect the user's privacy. Okay, so for example, to access these features you need to ask the user to allow to do so. So for example, there are some permissions which are pretty much strictly private to the users, like location, user contacts, camera, so Bluetooth connection, all this. To access this kind of features you need to get consent from the user. So this is our motivation of the tutorial. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna I have actually implemented a simple map activity, which simple map activity. Okay, so with this marker and everything. So okay, I have created a simple maps activity, and what we are gonna do is we are gonna get the user's location, current location. Yeah, as you can see, it's getting the current marker, which is of Sydney, Australia. Okay, so this is the added marker, I mean added location marker, which is, but we are gonna request the current user's location. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna pretty much comment this down. Okay, and we're gonna get the user's current access location. So what I've done is I have created a simple private function, which is get last location. Like also you can say get current location, you can say that. And okay, we will be step by step implementing the location. So first thing what we have to do is we have to go to our manifest and declare the necessary location. So I'm gonna declare access course location, and similarly access find location. I'll declare both of them. And yeah, so first step, you have to declare this permissions in your manifest. And so access find location is the permission we need to obtain from the user's location based on the GPS, in addition to the less accurate Wi-Fi and mobile data based location information we could also obtain by using access course location. Like so you can find location based on GPS, and there are also some location which is access course location provided by less accurate Wi-Fi and mobile data based location information. Okay, so then what next is, like I have obtained this I have created this simple private function, which pretty much we have to still implement this. We'll be implementing in a while, but first we need to get we need a dialog that will pretty much ask the permission from the user. Okay, so how can we do that? Is the first thing we have to add is a request permission launcher in our maps activity. Okay, let me go and write that private let int val request permission launcher, which pretty much is a string, right? And okay, let me just clear this down. Let me just avoid for the moment, because we are gonna implement this. And what next? Okay, so So this value that I have already I have just declared, request permission launcher, what it does, it is gonna launch the permission request and the track user responses. So and now we go to the bottom of our like this callback, on create callback. Then we have to um, implement this request permission launcher. Okay, request permission from user. Okay, so what we do, request permission launcher, we assign this value to request okay, we register for activity result request permission and then we check if is granted. Obviously if is granted is if the permission is granted, obviously we get the current location, right? Sorry guys, it's we get current location. Okay, else we're gonna show permission. Okay, so else we have to do is create another method which will pretty much show the permission rationale, right? So it's so mission rationale positive action, okay, which is pretty much like a lambda lambda function. Okay, what it does is create alert dialog will be displayed when the user just don't give consent to the permission, and it will just give the description that location permission is strictly required for this application. So let me set the message that location permission is strictly required by this app to work, otherwise it's not gonna work, right? So we just have to make sure that our application will work. Then obviously we have to set a positive button string. Okay, then obviously I have to accept the pass the lambda and pass this positive action lambda function, and then it was negative button android r dot cancel, and then similarly here we have a dialog dismiss. You dismiss the dialog, then you create and you show the alert dialog. Okay, so here it's pretty we have to show permission rationale, and then we have to request permission launcher launch the access find location, right? Okay, on positive button is gonna access the so alert dialog will have a okay and cancel button. On okay you have to just relaunch the request permission launcher, right? You launch it again until the user grants the permission. So okay, what next is like we still have to implement, we have to check that user has granted the location or not, right? So how can we check it? Is we check it by another function which is called has if user has a location permission. So how can you check the user has a location permission? Is context compact dot check self permission, and you pass manifest, like you don't need to pass manifest because you have already access. Find location here, and then is equals to case manager permission granted. Okay, check self permission. Context compact check self permission. Okay, let me see. Okay, actually, you need the context here, so let's pass this context. Okay, yeah, so this will pretty much return if a user has a current user has a location permission, right? And finally, so now we have to on map ready. So when your map is pretty ready, then here we have to just do some following check, right? Case 1. In this first case, we have a user has location, right? User okay, this case is permission granted. Okay, so it will be has location permission. So location permission is granted, then we get this get current location. Okay, and else there is also another case. Case 2 is we should so request per. Okay, so actually we have to still implement the permission rational, right? So the permission rational should be implemented. Okay, so let's see. Case 2 is should show request permission rational. Okay, so this should show permission rational granted is what it does. It gets whether you should show UI with a rational before requesting a permission. Okay, so permission your app wants to request whether you should show permission rational UI. Okay, and returns whether you should show permission rational UI for this permission. Okay, so it's just gonna check that should show request permission rational. You should show this permissions rational for this location. Okay, let's see. Actually, it's not asking us the context. Yeah, it's just this one. Then if we should show the permission rational, then we show permission rational, which is this one, which we show the permission rational is pretty much the alert dialog. You show like kind of a you show a kind of alert dialog before before showing the permission request, right? So this is a check. Then you have to obviously launch the access find location. Otherwise, in the case else, you just request the permission launcher, right? Permission launcher, and you launch the location. So pretty much obviously we are gonna go to this case at the first time. We will pretty much launch the request permission, right, to the user. Okay, so what else? Like, yeah, I think we are pretty okay. So let's let me clear everything and let me launch the application. so that we will see if everything is okay or not. Yes, everything is okay. Actually, at the first go, at the first launch, you will obviously go to this case of else, because you have not granted the permission yet, right? It's the first launch of your application, and you should not also show, because it's gonna return false at the first time, because you are not gonna you don't need to show permission rational at this point. So you don't need to show up extra permission here, and it's just gonna launch a um, location access permission to the user. So user can either get the precise or approximate location. He can choose, like the user can choose precise or approximate location, and you can just yeah, you can just, while using the app, or you can also don't allow that, like, so this is how you get access to your user's permission. So we still have to implement when the user clicks the, while using the app, it's gonna get location, but still we have yet to implement this. So we'll be doing this in the next lecture, okay? Because the first this section of Android permission and implementing the Google API, Maps API, was just to, the first section was to get ask the user for the location permission. So this was the topic of this tutorial. Thank you very much, and catch you up in the next lecture where I will be implementing the and accessing the real location from the user. Thank you.